G'day and welcome to another edition of Hef's Beer Reviews. Today I'm reviewing these two low-carb beers, Pure Blonde and Travla Australian Lager. Pure Blonde here in the green bottle, 330ml, 4.2% ABV, and it's telling me 86 calories. The Travla, 375ml can, also 4.2% ABV, and that one says 99 calories. Bit of background. Pure Blonde I have had before, but not for a very long time. It came out in the early 2000s, I think 2004, from CUB. It was one of the earliest of the low-carb beers. Carlton and United did have Carlton Diamond Draft, which, from my memory at least, was out in the mid-1990s, so maybe about 10 years before this one came out. They had the ads on TV with the sumo wrestler. If you're 40 plus in Australia, you might remember those, but the beer didn't last. I remember giving it a try. It was okay, nothing spectacular. I did try this one when it came out as well, but I believe the recipe has changed at least slightly since then. They're now calling it an ultra low carb lager. Boydo from Beers with Boydo has mentioned it a couple of times on and offline, and said that he drank it quite a bit back in the day. I thought, I haven't had it for a long time, so I should pick it up and give it another go. While I was in the bottle shop getting the Pure Blonde, I saw this one sitting nearby. It's one that I've kind of turned my nose up at, to be honest, and never bothered trying. So I thought I would take the plunge and give it a go. It is, I believe, independent. It's owned by some celebrity called Travis. Never heard of him, to be honest. So not going to bother talking about him. Brewed in Victoria. That's about all I know. I think there is a mid-strength version as well. Anyway, that's enough. Let's crack them on open. Got two schooner glasses here. We'll pour them out. Not doing a blind tasting or comparison or anything like that. Just thought, well, we've got a CUB and an independent. Let's do them together and see what they're like. The Pure Blonde. And the Travla. Now I have reviewed a couple of the other macro ultra low carb beers. Tooheys and the Hahn. Wasn't particularly complimentary. Preferred the Hahn over the Tooheys. We'll get the rest in a minute. Very carbonated, the Travla. All right, let's have a look. Both, a little bit of condensation on the glass, but look, both straw coloured, very similar. The Pure Blonde may be slightly darker. Both well carbonated. Smaller bubbles on the Travla, so we've got a tighter head. The Pure Blonde has dissipated. Aroma. Pure Blonde, just a light grainy aroma. Bit of light malt. Apparently hopped with Hersbrucker, but not getting much of it in the aroma. Both around the 12-13 IBU mark, so it's minimal hopping. There is a difference in the aroma. The Travla, I believe, is hopped with Cluster and Melba. So there's a bit of citrus coming through in the aroma. Still very lightly hopped though, so... But that's actually overshadowing the malt. There's not much coming through in the malt aroma. Interesting. All right, let's go Pure Blonde first. Cheers. Very light body, no bitterness, just a light, grainy, light malt flavour. Not much to it. Very easy to drink. It's very clean. It's not super crisp. There's a little bit of dryness about it. We are getting some lacing on the glass. Yeah, I thought it might be a bit crisper. Anyway, that's Pure Blonde Travla. Cheers. Also very light in body. Little bit more flavour to it. No bitterness. As I said, both around the 12 or 13 IBU mark. Little bit drier, I think, in the finish, the Travla. Little bit of sweet malt, but there's definitely more hop presence. Cluster, I believe, is, or has been, at least at some point in time, the hop that's used in 4X. I don't think I'm getting much of that coming through in that. That's just an earthy type hop. The Melba's a bit more citrusy, a bit more fruity. I'm getting a bit of that in the flavour. But there's not much. There's not much. They're both very light in terms of flavour. Yeah, this one, the Pure Blonde, less hoppy. Now that I come back to it, compared to the Travla, the Pure Blonde, although it's a German hop, it actually smells more like a traditional Australian lager to me, which is interesting. The Hersbrucker is an earthy, slightly spicy type hop. But look, it doesn't taste anything like a German lager. Let me get that straight. I mean, it's okay. It's not terrible. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just very light. When I did the Cooper's Australian Lager, there were a few comments saying that, look, it's a summer beer, it's a lawnmower beer. I guess this sits in that realm. Pure Blonde, when it first came out, was marketed more towards people in their early 20s. I'm certainly not in that age bracket anymore. It's not one I could see myself buying again or drinking regularly. Around $54 a case for the Pure Blonde. The Travla's a bit more expensive, $62 for a case is what I saw online. Both same ABV, but 375ml can up against the 330ml Pure Blonde. You can get that in cans though. Yeah, a bit more citrusy, just a that slight hoppy note. I don't love this one though. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just a little. I wouldn't say it's an off note, but in comparison to the Pure Blonde, there's just a slight. It's subtle, but there's just a funny note coming through. It's just I don't know, maybe it needs a bit more malt character, just to get a bit more balance. But I guess they're going for something that's a bit more crafty, to appeal to people who might like something a little bit more hoppy. Yeah. I mean, I don't love the pure blonde either. So ratings. Look, I'm going to give the pure blonde a 2.5 out of 5. I'm going to give the Travla the same. 2.5 out of 5. I mean, they're both lawnmower beers, I guess. They're both sessionable. Price point, the pure blonde's a little bit better, but look, that's a macro CUB, owned by a large multinational company based in Japan, of course, these days. And this is Australian, so if you want to go with the local, I guess you'd go with that one. Different taste, but at the end of the day, not a whole lot of difference in terms of quality as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, long episode. Thanks for watching another low carb beer review episode of Hef's Beer Reviews, and we'll catch you next time on Hef's Beer Reviews.